Well, look, I wouldn't ask normally, but I'm beginning to get worried.
It's his girlfriend.
May?
Yeah, I've been trying to ring her for the last couple of days and there's no reply. And there's nothing wrong with the phone because I got them to check the line. May!
Hang on. What's that?
Hello? May!
George? Yes, ambulance, please.
Shh. Oh. You're here now. For a while there, I thought my luck had run out. Have you worked here?
A few years.
Oh. Well, you should know my son. He's a doctor.
Here.
Yes, this is Michael's place.
Michael Mckenna.
Yes. Do you know him?
Another 24 hours and she would have died. How can anyone let that happen?
Yeah, especially when her son's a doctor.
Is he? Well, he should know better, leaving her to fend for herself.
You ought to be struck off.
Well, what good would that do? Look, I bet he's got his yacht and his Swiss bank account. Strike him off, he'll just head for the French Riviera, laughing his head off.
You're the slime ball.
You guys are gonna love this. What his last name is?
Why, it's Mckenna. Why?
Are you kidding?
No way. The slime ball in question is none other than our Lord and Master, Dr. Michael Mckenna.
Lord and Master?
Mckenna owns this place.
What?
Can't be.
It is, confirmed by his very own mum.
But that's crazy. There's got to be some kind of mistake.
Of course, Mavis McKenna.
Yeah, she calls herself May.
I sent flowers on Mother's Day to Mavis McKenna.
Couldn't even take them around himself, eh?
Well, I suppose somebody should tell him.
He's in the ward with Tom, Jenny.
Thanks.
He's fractured a couple of the lower ribs, but they should heal well enough by themselves. Apart from that, there's some bad bruising to the back and sides, and an assortment of cuts and scrapes. Don't ever play cards with this guy. He must be the luckiest person alive.
What about his breathing?
Yeah, there's probably a couple of things contributing. The damage to the ribs, and the dust that he would have inhaled underneath all that rubble.
What about his lungs? I mean, they'll be all right, won't they?
Yes, no, he'll be back to his bellowing best in no time. He might be spitting up bricks for a couple of weeks, though.
They could come in handy. I've been meaning to pave out the back.
We'll just keep him under observation for a couple of more days.
Is there anything else I should know?
Well, not really. Internal bleeding is still a possibility, but we're monitoring that. I prescribed some antibiotics for the cuts and scrapes. We'll just have to hope they don't react with the narcolepsy medication.
Was that likely?
It's possible, but we just wait and see.
Excuse me, Marge. Sorry. Michael, have you got a moment?
Sure. Excuse me. She what?
They've just finished admitting her. She's being shifted into the ward now.
Who's looking after her?
Chris.
And what does he say? Is she going to be all right?
He thinks so. Though more by good luck than anything.
How did they come to find her?
George Bentley, a mutual friend. He hadn't heard from her for a couple of days and she wasn't answering the phone.
I was going round there today after work.
Yes, well, that might have been a little bit late.
Shirley, my sister, visits her regularly, but she's away on holiday. And Mum gets paranoid if she thinks I'm checking up on her. She tolerates Shirley, but if I start hanging around, she just gets upset.
Even so.
Yeah, I know. I'm not trying to make excuses, but... You know, she won't even have the home help people around. She cleans, cooks, does the washing and loves it.
Nobody loves doing the washing.
My mother does. She revels in her independence. I try to talk to her about getting older, but she just gets herself into a state, accuses me of trying to lock her away, and that is the last thing that I want.
Of course.
I know they say independence should be encouraged, but on the other hand, I mean, what do you do?
I don't know. It must be very difficult.
Believe me, it is.
I feel so useless.
You mustn't blame yourself for what happened. It wasn't your fault.
Of course it was. A silly woman. I knew it was a dicky chair before I stood on it. And now this... ambulances, strangers, hospitals, a lot of fuss and bother.
It's nothing of the sort, Mrs. Mckenna. You just concentrate on getting better.
How soon before I go home?
Well, we'll talk about that one later, once you're better. And once some arrangements have been made.
Arrangements?
For home care.
I'm all right on my own, honestly.
Mrs. McKenna.
Mum. How are you?
Give me a couple of days, I'll be back on my feet fighting fit, you'll see.
Well, that's good. But until then, I'm taking care of you, okay?
Thank you, Mickey.
What's the status?
She's stabilised. Fortunately, help arrived in time, but it was a very near thing.
So I've been told, Chris.
It's a flesh clinic you got here, Mickey. No two ways about it. I thought it'd be like your old surgery. Plaster peeling, carpet on its last legs. But you're more than just a doctor now. You're a big success. No wonder you're flat out for time.
You just shush, all right? I need to talk to Dr. Warner.
Broken neck of femur, which I've sandbagged to keep her mobile. A saline drip for the dehydration, plus 1 unit of red blood cells. And there's an electric blanket on low heat for the hypothermia. Good. Do you know if they found her any later, she probably would have died.
Yes, thank you very much, Chris. Oh, and could you organise a private room for me?
Now, Mickey, I don't need anything la-di-da. Just stick me in the corner next to the spuds.
Mum, will you stop arguing and just do as you are told for once?
I'll fix it.
You're going to be fine. You'll be up and vacuuming the house in no time.
I'm sorry about all this. I seem to have caused a lot of trouble.
Oh, Mum. It's not your fault. I should have been round to see you.
I cut that out. I'm not an invalid, you know. You know what I mean. It was my own silly fault, not yours. So don't you go blaming yourself, you hear?
Okay, Mum. Whatever you say.
Are you certain it was his mother?
A doctor called Mckenna who runs a clinic. It's him, all right.
Remarkable.
Well, what's she like?
She's a real old darling, salt of the earth. She deserves a lot better than him, that's for sure. In fact,
What?
I give you 5 to 1 odds that before today is through, McKenna's on this almighty guilt trip and she's in a private room.
Hey, room 1, as soon as you can.
Told you, nothing will be too good for her now. But yesterday was a totally different story.
Come on, Steve, you don't know all the facts.
Yeah? What did McKenna say when he saw her? All over her like a rash. Am I right?
Right again?
See? #1 loving son after she almost died. What a hypocrite.
Bit of a turn up for the books.
I tell you what, Marge will have a field day when she hears about this.
What is it, love? What's wrong? Don't worry. Stuart's gone to get someone. I'll be here any second.
What's the problem?
Well, his breathing suddenly changed.
How long ago?
We called you in as soon as we noticed it.
How's his pulse?
Up. I suspect his temperature's up as well.
What does that mean?
I'll get a doctor.
He's gonna be all right, isn't he?
Some sort of lung infection. Or maybe Tom's reacting to the antibiotics.
It could be either, or it might be that wall did more damage than just fracturing a couple of ribs.
Hey, is it true the woman they brought in is McKenna's mother?
Apparently.
And that he hasn't visited her in 10 years?
No, I think that rumour's somewhat exaggerated. Although with our glorious leader, who knows what's possible?
That's what I reckon. Oh, he most all-star regarding a new advertising campaign. The PR firm sending someone to interview all of us.
Casual discussions to help prepare the campaign. Your full cooperation is requested.
As if we haven't got enough to do.
So does this mean we have a say in the campaign or what?
Yes, and what does everyone mean? Is that just the doctors or the cleaning staff as well?
How would I know? He just asked me to type them up.
So what did McKenna say when you talked to him about the campaign?
I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet.
Why not? It's very important.
Yes, and certain doctors have been on leave. There's been a murder inquiry. The place has been a madhouse around here, in case you hadn't noticed.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I know. But the problem remains, you know? McKenna's campaign's absolutely tacky. It needs taking to with a machete.
Could you talk to him? You're more of a diplomat than I am. I'm likely to bite his head off.
No, I would definitely be the wrong person to speak to McKenna right now.
Why is that?
Personal. Take it from me, you're the ideal candidate. Just remember one thing. Don't let him sweet-talk you.
Not a chance.
From now on, you'll be looked after like a queen by me personally. That's what you deserve.
She all right?
Shh.
Sorry. At least she's getting plenty of attention.
Yeah. It's that son of hers cracking the whip. Guilty of neglecting her before.
Shh. People can still hear things when they're asleep, you know.
Yeah, right. Come outside. Listen, tell me about this son of hers. I mean, I know he's led her a dog's life, but May keeps making excuses, saying that this clinic keeps him flat tack.
He's got enough time to run a luxury yacht.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, and a beach house, parties, weekends away.
All the trimmings, eh? While his mother struggles on her own.
Yeah. And he keeps giving me these lectures, you know, about doing the right thing. And meanwhile, what about him? Couldn't give a stuff about his own mother.
Yeah, as if her life were over, eh?
Yes, the guy's a total hypocrite.
You know, I'd really like to knock his flaming selfish block off.
Take a seat, Meredith.
No, thank you. This shouldn't take long.
All right, what can I do for you?
It's about the advertising campaign and your failure to consult with the medical staff. There are questions of ethics and medical standards here.
The doctors were consulted.
What?
Yes, I spoke with Chris in some detail. He was quite keen on the proposal.
Oh, well, I'm afraid he wasn't speaking for the rest of us.
Oh.
What we object to is selling unnecessary testing in matters such as cholesterol. It's preying on clients' fears.
Yeah, I agree.
You do?
Yes, it's not the right sort of image.
Well, it's not just a question of image either.
Of course it is. We've got a fine team of health professionals here. That's the image we want. That's why I've asked the agency to redesign the campaign.
Redesign in what way?
Something dignified and low-key. A simple photograph of two caring professionals and some suitably restrained copy to go along with it. I'm sure you'll be very happy with the outcome.
And will the doctors have any input into this copy?
Meredith, you're a trained professional. Well, these promotional people are professionals too. We need to set the proper standards and let the pros get on with it. Don't you agree?
There you go. Sugared and stirred.
You're still here. I thought you'd gone home an hour ago.
Getting out of this place is like escaping quicksand. How's Tom?
Well, we thought he was all right. But then he had this funny turn.
Oh, what happened?
I'm not sure, but oh, he looked terrible, Jenny. Scared the daylights out of me.
Oh, you poor thing. Must be ghastly for you.
Don't feel sorry for me or I'll go to pieces and fall in a heap on the floor and spill the tea.
Excuse me, Mrs. Nielsen. I'm Alona Fisher. Your husband saved my son. I hope he's not too badly hurt.
Tom's as tough as old goat's knees, Mrs. Fisher. Fire him out of a cannon and he'd answer back. But how's your son?
Oh, Scott's well on the mend. They're taking him to the ward. They'll discharge him in a day or two. But one of the nurses said there'd been an emergency with your husband. I felt so terrible. If he hadn't been rescuing my son, he'd be as right as rain.
Tom's been in all kinds of scrapes before. Part of the job, he reckons. He'll be all right. Sure he will.
Thank you. And I hope we get the chance to thank your husband again, soon.
I'm sure you will.
A side of lamb? Yeah, I suppose so. Have you got enough room in the freezer for it? Well, by all means, bring one home. Yeah, give my love to your folks. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I miss you too. What?
Nothing. So, how's Alison enjoying her week in the bustling metropolis of Te Kuiti?
She's going nuts, I think.
I don't blame her. Problems?
Talking to Mckenna's a waste of time.
You didn't let him sweet-talk you, did you?
Don't even start. And as for you, who gave you the right to say you spoke to the doctors about this advertising?
I said no such thing. I was merely
Well, he seems to think you did. You cut the ground right out from under my feet.
Oh, well, that's Michael. You know how he operates. But I do happen to think it's not a bad idea.
You would.
So you like the idea of pressuring patients into unnecessary treatment?
No.
Oh, small concession. That's gone out the window. He's reshaped the campaign around the caring professional angle.
Great. If that's the approach and it gets us more modern equipment, I'm all for it. What are you guys objecting to?
So that's what Mckenna's talking now. No tacky copy, no scaremongering.
More or less. Just a picture of a couple of caring and sharing staff members. You know, the responsible angle.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. Depending on whose face is on the photo, of course.
It would have to be a doctor. I mean, this place was a medical centre the last time I looked.
A doctor such as yourself, Chris.
If called, I will serve.
Abandon hope, pal. McKenna's bound to cast himself as the leading man.
Want to drag in the customers? No, they need someone youthful, dashing, good-looking. Me. I mean, he might be vain, but that's vanity to the point of insanity.
Mum should be back any minute.
Hey, this is quite interesting.
Take it.
Hey?
If you want it, take it. That's what Mckenna does.
Yeah, he would.
Nick, what are you doing here?
Waiting for Mum.
Ah, so you must be George Bentley. Pleased to meet you.
And you must be Dr. McKenna.
Yeah. Thanks for looking after my mum. It was very good of you.
Yeah, well, someone had to take an interest, I suppose.
Yes, well, I'm grateful you did.
You'll find I'll be taking a closer interest in the future. She'll be well looked after from now on, believe you me.
What do you mean?
Well, let's just say that May and I have been good friends and we'll be better friends after this.
I've never heard her mention you. You can't have known her that long.
47 years long enough? Look, I know about you. Holiday home, flash car, and you can't even look after your own mother.
Are you sure this isn't a recent surge of interest on your part? You don't smell money by any chance.
That's the last
Stay out of this, Nick.
Why? You're a phony. All those big lectures about respecting your parents, and your own mother almost dies because you can't look after her.
That is a slight exaggeration.
Well, you're a total hypocrite.
What on earth is going on here?
Jenny, my office, I think you and I need a little talk. He went for me like a Rottweiler. Out of the blue. Practically called me a criminal.
I'm sorry, Michael. Lately, he's got very friendly with George. They must have stirred each other up.
Oh. You know, if it had been up to my old man, I would have been out of school and into work as soon as I turned 15. And my mum stood up to him. She put me through medical school. It's not as though I don't feel dreadful about what happened. It's just that it is so difficult to find a balance between her independence and proper care.
I'm sure her welfare's all that matters to you.
Well, I've asked her to go into a nursing home, but she won't hear of it.
They can be pretty stubborn when they put their minds to it.
I was even going to take her into my own home, and then Alexandra and I separated, and that option went up in smoke.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, why did it go up in smoke? Because your wife wasn't there to look after her.
I'm working here 12 to 14 hours a day trying to keep this place going. And anyway, she doesn't want to. She wants to be on her own. I thought I explained all of that.
Yes, I remember. You did.
Have you seen McKenna's mum yet? She's a real hoot.
No, I feel so sorry for her.
She'll be gone within 24 hours.
Did you mean?
Nah, gone to another clinic. McKenna's too ashamed to keep her here. She's an embarrassment. You know, a reminder to everyone.
Well, he's not that bad.
$50 says he is.
Forget it, Steve.
Hey, why are they advertising? To drum up trade, right? So they need a now face. Blondes are out. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Blondes are yesterday, the superseded model.
Oh, and you're the face of today, you reckon?
Absolutely. Multicultural, succeuding despite the odds.
What's all this about?
For the promotional photograph, you know, the two people who will represent the face of the clinic.
Which one of us do you think, Kirsty?
Out of you two, gag me with a spoon.
And you have a better idea?
Yep. What is the first thing that people see when they walk through the door? Reception, right? Smiling and friendly. They're relaxed, don't they?
Come on, Kirsty. Every two-bit flea palace in town's got a receptionist. No offence.
So, it doesn't mean reception's not important.
No, of course not. But what this clinic needs is a dynamic, progressive image.
And not a male nurse by any chance?
Why not? Why not? Gentle but strong. Light-hearted but understanding. Your life in their healing hands. A miracle of modern medicine.
You're all stark raving mad.
Why, Meredith?
Yeah, what are your qualifications for the job?
I wouldn't be seen dead in your cheap advertisement. But we were worried, remember? And here you all are, seduced by the fake glamour of some tawdry photograph.
Fake glamour? I think not. This face is the real thing.
Whatever happened to caring professionals?
She must have left a funny bone at home.
Just thought I'd pop in and say goodnight before I go home. It's all right, Mum. It's all right, Mum. I'm here. Fluid overload. Move. Get me IV furosemide. Then we need a cardiac monitor and a chest X-ray. Yep. It's going to be all right, Mum.
Are you going out?
Yeah, with this lovely guy I met right here.
Lucky you.
How's your dad?
We're still waiting on him. He's in there with Mum. I'll go back in a sec.
He'll be all right.
You found out anything?
I'm afraid Tom's become anuric, which means he's not producing urine.
Why? What causes that?
Kidney failure, I'm afraid.
Kidney failure.
The first thing we need to do is test the kidneys. I'm ordering an IVP, intravenous pyelogram. That's a test where we run the dye through the kidneys to see if all the vessels are functioning properly. Then we'll have a better idea what to do.
He's going to be all right, isn't he?
This test will give us a better idea where we go from here.
Chest x-rays are organised, Darton.
About time.
What's happening?
Fluid overload.
What?
Now tell me exactly what instructions you gave.
500 mils of normal saline over 4 hours plus 1 unit of red blood cells.
It's too much.
I disagree.
Of course it is. Did you see her in there?
I did exactly what any good doctor would have
Then
done.
explain to me why she's like that.
Michael, you're upset, and I can understand why.
Don't patronise me.
Look, you have a personal relationship with a patient. Of course you're going to be upset.
Don't give me that. Your conduct was incompetent and unprofessional.
Just because you have a guilty conscience that she's here at all.
You will take no further part in the treatment of my mother. Is that clear? Your ineptitude almost killed her.
Is it you or is it me? Lately I've been lost it seems. I think the change is what I need. If I'm looking for a chance or a dream, Shortland Street. Taking time to hold my place. Yesterday's another place. Just living for the times we've seen. When the writing on the wall says I'll be Shortland Street. If you want to find a way of searching for another world, it's hard to see Shortland Street.
This program was made with the help of your broadcasting fee, so you can see more of News Here.